Question from Adam Baxter. What is the normal fee you would expect to pay an agent when selling a property in the Northeast? The rates seem to vary greatly. Plus, is it safe to use an online-only estate agent? Great question, Adam, and thanks for submitting that via the WiggyWam website. In answer to your question, there's a couple of things I want to say about that. And firstly, your question is it safe to use an online estate agent? I haven't got a lot of experience of dealing with online only. I've tended to use more the traditional high street agent where you can go and you can have a face-to-face conversation with them. And meet and greet and sort of press the flesh, if you like, build rapport, explain your property requirements, and enter a conversation with them. I prefer that personally. I know a lot of people now into the online world, they prefer to do things all through a computer screen or a telephone. In terms of is it safe, I would say that their safeguarding practices should be in place in terms of who they're letting look around your home and who they're arranging viewings for. But the question is sound them out, go and have a conversation with them, see what they recommend. The only disadvantage I can think of using an online-only estate agent would be that you're probably going to have to do a lot of the legwork yourself in terms of showing people around, whereas a traditional agent will look to do things like accompany viewings for you, and they'll take the people around the property and deal with all the negotiations face to face. So you might find it's a little bit more intense in terms of the work that you have to do in order to secure a buyer. Whereas a traditional agent is probably, it will be more invested in terms of, providing a higher level of service because they're getting paid more. Now, to answer your question, what fee should you be paying? My view would be to get 3 estate agents to come round to the property and have a look. And they will give you their sort of usual presentation, which will tell you what you can expect to achieve for the property, and then what they'll charge you for doing all the marketing. Now, something I want to make very clear to home buyers and sellers is that they mistakenly think the job of an estate agent is just to find the buyer, and that's a big part of it. But in my experience, the biggest area where estate agents come into play is negotiating the sale price of the property and the terms around that sale, but also getting the deal through to completion. And there is an awful lot of legwork, which I think estate agents perhaps don't explain as fully as they should do to their clients, that there is a lot of legwork to get an agreed deal across the line to an exchange of contracts. That can be speaking to all the parties every week to update them on what's happening, chasing outstanding information, getting involved. And I've even known estate agents, hop in their car and go and courier documents around just to try and speed up the transaction. And a lot of agents will go above and beyond the call of duty to get that sale to exchange of contracts as soon as possible. And largely it's because they're on an incentive fee basis, which means if the deal doesn't exchange, they don't get paid. Okay, that's not all estate agents, obviously. You'll have to dig in a little deeper as to what their services that they're providing and exactly when they get paid. Some will charge a little bit of money up front. Others will largely charge it all on the back end once they've actually sold the property, which is a performance-based fee. So I would say get those 3 estate agents around, listen to the presentations, listen to how they're going to sell the property, and also how they're going to hold your hand through to completion of the deal. Fee structures will vary based on the level of service that's being provided, but also based on the experience of the estate agent. And in my experience, speaking to a lot of estate agents up and down the country, where an estate agent isn't charging a fee of at least 1.25%, if not more. Okay, this is just my humble opinion. Where they're charging less than that, and there have been studies done by estate agent friends of mine in the industry where they categorically tell me it costs way more than 1% to sell a property. But that aside, when an estate agent isn't charging enough, it obviously impacts how they can run the business in terms of the, shall we say, the quality of the staff and the level of service that they can provide. So what you don't want is, employing an estate agent where you haven't got a hardened industry veteran, if you like, a hardened negotiator on your side who's going to get you the best deal. And a lot of buyers and sellers make the mistake of you trying to employ an estate agent based on who charges the least, okay? Whereas the cheapest estate agent is actually the one who costs you the least. And I know that might seem a little bit backwards, but if they're achieving you £10,000 or £20,000 more for the property, then surely they pay for themselves, 10 times over by paying the extra sort of 1/4 or 0.5% for selling the property. So you've got to get these people around. You've got to invite them to your property. Do it face to face. I'm not a fan of this sort of, shall we say, virtual viewings or virtual inspections. Actually, meet face to face, press the flesh, get to understand the estate agent, how they work, what are they providing for their money. And I would always be tempted to go towards the top end of the fee structure on the basis that they're providing what I consider to be a good value for money service. Notice I didn't say cheapest, I said good value for money. So hopefully that gives you an in-depth answer to the question, and I wish you the best of luck. Obviously, if there's anything else that you need, let me know. One of the things I will say is that it's worthwhile getting what's known as a protect your pocket policy in place, which is a cost indemnity insurance policy. And what that does is it underwrites the costs of everything that you're spending in going ahead with a property sale or a property purchase. Now, if the deal falls through for whatever reason, whether it's gazumping or whether it's something's come up in the legal work that you weren't expecting, or maybe you've had a survey done and the place is falling down and you didn't realize it, or something of that nature, all of that money that you spent out can be recovered through the insurance policy. And that's something that wasn't really available when I first started in property many years ago. And it's something that I would never buy a house again without having that policy in place, because I just don't think it's worth the risk. For less than a couple of £100 outlay, you're covering yourself for up to £2,000 or £3,000 worth of legal costs being spent, and survey costs and all that sort of thing. So get that in place and you'll have a much easier moving experience. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. Anything else you need, let me know. Hopefully that's been of interest, guys. I should apologize that I get very excited talking about this sort of thing. So I do tend to talk a bit quickly and trip myself up sometimes a little bit as we're going through, but I love it. I'm really appreciative of you guys submitting your questions. I hope to be able to continue to do these long into the future. So please submit your questions on the WiggyWam website, or send them through to me on email. That email again, happy to help at wiggywam.co.uk. And also you can go to our WiggyWam website, which is wiggywam.co.uk. And then you can join very quickly on the web on the platform by clicking on the user profile for a expert user, and then going through the sign up process there, and then you'll get access to some more video content, which is all about the home buying and selling journey and what you can learn about how to speed that up. We've also got some pretty cool announcements coming next week, which I'm excited to share with you. So yeah, tune in next week if you want to know more about what we're up to behind the scenes. It's a fascinating time to be in the property world, and I'm really excited that a lot of things that we've been working hard on over the course of the last couple of years, and my team have been instrumental in delivering these great results. We're super excited because we know what we can achieve when we all start working together. So yeah, we're excited to unveil those, and really looking forward to working with you in the not too distant future. So thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been amazing to share some time with you today. Thank you for your attention, and I will look forward to reading and answering your questions again very soon. So I'll say goodnight to you, and thank you so much, and see you very soon. Bye-bye.